Is LIV Golf actually dead? That's the question everybody's asking after a bombshell report last week. And we went straight to the guy who broke the news. Ryan French, aka Monday Q Info, is back with us, and he's got answers. Welcome to episode 20 of Sandbagger Sessions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, nice. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. Episode 20 today. We finally made episode 20, and it's great to have you all here. As you do always, help us out, hit the subscribe button. We've been on a good run, Steph, the last few weeks with the Masters. We had James Duthie, we had the Masters recap last week, and we're trending in the right direction. So we appreciate all of you. Keep helping us out. And a little different here today, and I think I said it, actually I can't remember when I said it, but we've got a little bit of an audio delay, so if it's a little bit awkward here, just bear with us. We're not professionals.
Yeah, I'm at home. I got some travel early tomorrow. Got to be on the road tomorrow. So just got some stuff.
Can you tell us where you're going?
Home. Just going to play a little golf. Also, my dog got her eye taken out, so just at home monitoring that for now. I say that, and then I'm going golfing tomorrow, so what do I really know? But she's all good. Big news stories in golf, so we weren't going to miss it. And obviously the biggest news story over the last week was is LIV completely done? It sounds like that's the case, and this week we're bringing back our boy. I reached out to Ryan French, who broke the story, and was like, well, if you got half an hour, so he's back. We got another interview with Ryan French.
He's back. Man, I'm so pumped for this because, so if you haven't been following along or if you've only seen tidbits, Ryan French, aka Monday Q Info, I think he was on with us in episode 6 or 7-ish. He's coming back today. Steph's got him back. We'll bring him in shortly. Really, really excited. But like you mentioned, he basically broke a story last week that PIF, the Saudi Arabia private investment fund, is pulling their funding away from LIV. I think he stopped short of saying LIV is done, but he was. I think the tweet. We'll put the tweet up on screen, and it was. We don't give out gambling advice, but if you were to bet on LIV, they would recommend taking the under. So PIF has poured in over $5 billion into LIV over the past, what has it been, 4-ish years. And so, if PIF is pulling their funding for various reasons, we'll get into it with Ryan, but LIV, likely as it exists today, will not exist in the near future. Now, we'll talk with Ryan about if it does continue to exist, what might that look like, but the guy has been probably running on, I don't know, not much sleep the last 7 days, so really grateful and excited to chat with Ryan. But before we do get to Ryan, let's just very, very quickly break down the weekend because we had a pretty epic weekend at Harbortown.
Yeah, Fitzy play. I saw the playoff with Scottie Scheffler. The wind looks like it was howling.
It was,
It was a great playoff. Scottie, unfortunately kind of flared one out there. Matt Fitzpatrick just ropes a 4-iron, which is, that hole's usually 3-wood wedge for those guys, and he's hitting 4-iron in there after hitting a driver. So, and he's one of the longer guys on tour. So it was exciting. I didn't watch a ton of the golf. It's, a little bit of a Masters hangover right now, but checked in. I wish I saw some of the LPGA this weekend. Hannah Green in her last 4 starts has gone win, miscut, win, 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 which is insane. That's 5 starts. I can't do math.
4 wins and 5 starts.
I can't do math, but that's baffling.
An 80% win rate. That's unheard of.
We got new full swing. We got so much to talk about. We're gonna move a lot of that stuff to next week because we really want to get to Ryan. But yes, your guy, for the first time in I don't know how many weeks, I'm sure you got your little sheet sitting there. Your guy actually beat my guy. Siwoo Kim beat Xander last week, and Siwoo he was fighting. He almost took down a dub. That could have been bad news. But I think I'm still in the lead.
You are, it was. So this is the first time that a non-vibes pick has done good for me. And
Mm.
arguably this one, in terms of non-vibes, is pretty easy. Like, you just need someone that drives the ball straight, and Siwoo, as I think he's the leader on the PGA Tour this year in fairways hit. So that was really all I looked at. But yeah, big week for me, which brought me back up. I think I won, let me just pull it up here really quickly. I won just a little over, 1.3, just over 1.3 million. So you're still in the driver's seat, though, but I clawed back some really poor performances, and obviously the absolute dummying that you did of me at the Masters, and I trailed by a couple 100,000 now. So it's as we start to get into the body of the season, things are starting to get close.
Yeah, I'm just looking because we got a new week this week, and just kind of going through the field here. It's kind of a weird field. There's some names at the bottom of this field that, like,
Yeah.
Seamus Powers getting a start this week. It was funny. I don't know if you saw
Let's
the
just
tweet.
say it. Let's just say it. It's a hit and giggle.
Oh, it is, with a lot of money on the line. I don't know if you saw the tweet that Smiley Kaufman sent out, where Ryan Gerard texted him, asking him how his game was, because he could bring anybody with PGA Tour status to play. And Smiley Kaufman still has PGA Tour status as a past winner. Now, he's never getting into an event, but he could have gone out and played this week. But obviously, Alex Fitzpatrick, I don't even know how he has status, but he's I guess he probably has status through the European Tour.
Well, his win on the DP World Tour, and
yeah, like Jeff Ogilvy's playing this week, which is hilarious. He's playing with Cam Davis, James Hahn somehow in the field, Jonathan Bird's in the field. The worst odds, according to FanDuel, not a sponsor, but just looking on there, Jason Duffner and Austin Cook are plus 50,000 to win. Your boy Alejandro Tosti's in the field. It's a dark field. Harry Higgs is playing. Like, basically, if you've ever played a PGA Tour event, you might have been free this week. You could have got on the field if somebody gave you a chance.
Yeah. Alex Fitzpatrick is actually in on a sponsor's exemption. So
I gotcha.
I'm sure, I'm sure that was sort of a story. Obviously, Matt is playing out of his skin this year. We just mentioned he won at the weekend in the playoff. That's his second win of the year and second at the Players. He's now up to third in the OWGR. So, potentially we're seeing Matt Fitzpatrick in career best form. And, for him to pair up with his brother in the only, I guess, team event of the year was good opportunity for the sponsors. So he's in with a sponsor's exemption. But,
Who gets first pick this week?
I get first pick because you got first pick last week. Good. So just quickly on Siwoo, because I was very happy, and outright third. He played really well, but does Siwoo just need to get a little bit of dog in him, because he's contended lots this year. I mean, he's been there or thereabouts on Sunday, and he's always been like teetery. He hasn't cracked into that, like, oh, this guy's going to win the tournament. It's like he's got an outside chance. And obviously he's playing really good golf, but like, can he just get a little bit more dog in him and kind of get to the top of the leaderboard? I don't know.
I mean, he was playing against two, he lost to what, two guys? Matt Fitzpatrick, who might be playing, in the last 3 months, some of the best golf.
That's fair.
Around. And then you're playing Scottie Scheffler, who, if he's, a few months ago, you said, he was 1A, there was a bunch of shit, and then there was Rory McIlroy, which should have been a quote I should have started the Masters.
Yeah, that didn't age very well, did it?
Right, but apparently he's the top dog, and then there's a bunch of shit, so he's playing against those. So I think it's just really hard right now. Siwoo Kim, maybe that you bring that golf game into the early 2000s, and he cracks 10 wins in his career. But right now there's just guys are just playing good golf, and the big guys are showing up pretty early in the season, which is a good sign. This week's a crapshoot though. So who do you got?
It's got to be vibes. It's got to be vibes this week. Like, honestly,
it's a vibes week.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going all of vibes, and my pick. I love this pairing. Tell me if I'm wrong here. This is a pretty uncanny pairing, in my opinion. USA, Europe, you've got one of the most, I would say, boisterous guys maybe in golf, and then you've got a guy that doesn't carry a yardage book. So my vibes pick is Brooks Koepka and Shane Lowry, who are pairing up. I couldn't turn that away. I couldn't, like, Shane Lowry's a vibes guy. Brooks Koepka's a vibes guy. They've both got very different good vibes, but I just had to go with them.
Cool. Big vibes pick. The best odds in any betting book you can find. Brooks and Shane
I didn't
Lowry.
even look at that. I didn't even look at that.
All right, I'm just going. I'm trying to go on vibes here, trying to figure out who to go with. Fuck it, give me Hao Tong Lee and Jordan Smith. I don't know.
Oh,
I
Jordan
don't know.
Smith. I'm really going to show my. Who is Jordan Smith?
Jordan Smith is English. That's
Oh,
the
yes, I do
extent
know
of my
Jordan Smith.
knowledge after that. He did compete deep into an Open Championship a few years back.
Okay.
But I don't know. It was that, or you go with, like, I like Matt McCarty. I don't really know who Mac Meisner is. I know he's a player, but I can't tell you anything about his game. It's funny that Ryan Gerard, after struggling to find a partner, ended up going with the Canadian, Yella Maraju. Looked at that pairing.
Who's playing really well.
He's playing well. Ryan Gerard's playing really well, but, let's go with the vibes. Let's see if Hao Tong Lee can find his way out of the bushes at Race Creek and pick up a dub.
I love it. There's lots more to touch on from the past week, but just with everything that's gone on and the guest that we have today, we're going to get straight into our interview with Ryan French. There's more that we'll talk about next week. You mentioned Full Swing. You mentioned a bunch of other stuff. We will push that back to episode 21 next week. But without further ado, really excited to have Ryan back on the episode. Let's get straight into the interview. Okay, folks, welcome back to Sandbagger Sessions, a very popular guest of ours, and so happy that he's back with us again. He's had a stressful week, but he's coming and speaking with us. Ryan French, aka Monday Q Info. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty tired, actually, Cole. But I'm okay. Thanks for having me on, fellas. It's good to see you.
It's nice to see you, for sure.
Obviously, yeah. Well, and like, on that note, in all seriousness, we'll get into it in a second, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that have sort of maybe seen some of this in passing, maybe not been following this step by step, but it's been a big week. So Ryan French, the human, as you say, you're pretty tired. We'll get into it, but I hope you're getting a chance to rest after the past. What's it been, really? It's, I guess, 7 days. That's been a bit of a whirlwind, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's I said on my own podcast today, is like, I knew hitting send would I was like, I'm semi-prepared, understanding that there's a little bit I didn't know, but even I was like, I know enough to know that I didn't know the part I don't know how big it was, I could kind of get. But when CNN sent me a message of like, hey, would you like to be on? I was like, it's kind of a little crazy. All right. We've gotten outside of what I thought might be okay.
I'm pretty sure I texted you that CNN would be calling that night, and we were just laughing about it. See, so I know you have a big announcement coming out. We can't really get into that right now, but I thought for a second, when you and I were going back and forth, you're already stressed. I'm sure your phone's blowing up. I thought at some point, I was like, oh, this is just a big bit. And then in the end, he's going to announce he's doing a big thing with LIV, and that was going to be the big announcement.
Yeah.
So I was laughing my ass off in bed that night, just texting you. I couldn't go to sleep. Why don't you, I mean, you're not going to be able to get into probably a lot of big details into it, but can you go kind of through the steps leading up to the tweet that basically you had very sources close to the situation that basically said there's an announcement coming on LIV's future, and the word you used was imminent?
Yeah, I got a phone call. Wasn't looking for a story. There's always been rumors that LIV was going to. I mean, it's not a sustainable business. It was only the only factor here, as it stands, it's not a sustainable business. As it stands, there's one person who controls whether LIV lives or dies, right? And that's MBS. So it's always rumors but nothing substantiated. Then got a phone call from someone I trust very much, and I'd like to be clear that it's not Phil. I don't ask Phil any questions. I know people know that I have a relationship with him. Don't talk to him. He's got his own stuff going on. So I would never ask him about LIV because I wouldn't want to put him in thing. And he would never call me out of the blue. So someone called me that I trust, and that led to 50 phone calls. There's a rough estimate. And I've said many times is like, there was people inside LIV that were like, no idea what you're talking about. You're just wrong. And there was agents who said, haven't heard that. Is that true that they hadn't heard it? I don't know. That's very well could be. I have to take them at their word. I've heard that it was a surprise to some people that this was a thing. So then, yeah, I made a bunch of phone calls and talked to enough people that I trust that are in the know that things were in big trouble. So, and then I think the biggest decision, my business partner,
Sorry,
Mark
just
Baldwin,
quickly,
pro golfer.
quickly on that, Ryan, like how long was that day leading up to it? Was it all within that day?
Yeah, it was all within that day. I got a call early, and I probably spent the next, I don't know, 7 to 10, 8 to 10 hours, just, trying to sift through it. And about the last couple hours was calling people within the business and outside the business. I've said many times, Steve Shale's on my board of my foundation, and he ran Obama's campaign in Florida when Obama won. He deals in this stuff, right? Like he has dirt on, people have dirt on him and them and Obama and whatever. They deal in this stuff. And I was like, I asked for his opinion, asked for people's opinion that I trust inside golf. I was like, do I have enough? And then Mark and I had a discussion of is this what we want to do? This is not who we are. It's not who we are going to be going forward. Except that if I got a huge news, then then I would probably do it. But I'm not out seeking this. I don't want to be a newsbreaker, but I would break news. And so the last maybe hour was Mark and I going back and forth of do we want to do this? And as I said at the beginning here, is we decided that we had enough, talked to enough people that thought we had enough. And yeah, we went with it. And I don't regret it. I don't, because we're right. And I think I didn't do it for any other reason. I don't think that far ahead. People are like, oh, you do it for clicks. Clicks doesn't do me any good. Yeah, did I gain some followers? Yeah, sure. I don't know what people think Twitter pays me, but I think my last check was $117. So am I going to get 131 this month? Yeah, maybe. Sure. But is it going to be anything that's I didn't make a dime on this thing. It's crazy. Yeah. I love the whole if for clicks thing. I don't know what that, I guess I gain followers, so that's what they're saying. I don't ever think about it. I don't know anything about my analytics. People are like, what's your reply? I don't know, dude. I have no idea. I just put out stuff that I think is interesting or important, and shit will follow. So, yeah, I put out what I thought was important. I don't regret it. I was not prepared. I was not prepared for the blowback.
Yeah, you.
Well, I mean, of all the
Sorry.
So, I mean, of all the social media platforms, Twitter is I always call it the cesspool of shit. So, with spending most of your time there is crazy. I want to get into some of the stuff you just said, what led up, the decision to release it, all of this stuff. But I also just really quickly want to take a step back, because I think getting in your mind, I think there's a lot of people, including myself, that kind of think they know how all this works. But, we've mentioned PIF, which is the Saudi Private Investment Fund. You mentioned MBS. Can you just spend a quick minute just talking about how this actually works right now. So obviously the Saudi Private Investment Fund is the primary backer of LIV Golf. It's the reason financially that it is running today. And then you have MBS. So can you just touch a little bit on how that works first?
Yeah, I think, Cole, this is an important part because if you're listening to this, I guess I would guess but if you don't know, right after, I think the next morning, the Financial Times was the first one to come out and confirm that they had reports that PIF was pulling out of LIV. And then the New York Times, and then Athletic, and then Fox News, and all these things confirmed some parts of the Athletic's done a very good job reporting this, whatever. So here's what I think is important. PIF is the financial investment arm of the Saudi Arabian government, and they're trying to make money. But at this time, when they invested in LIV, they were trying to invest in sports to westernize their people's view of Saudi Arabia. They thought that they would be able to gain influence. They bought soccer teams that involved in Tom Brady's flag football. They bought LIV. So, and by all accounts of the news organizations I just talked to about, they pulled out. I think this is an important part because people have said those reports came out based on my tweet. I want to be crystal clear. Now, I knew that it had to be with funding, but I had no insight on the financial side. Every person I talk to is a golf person. I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone in PIF. I wouldn't know if they told me what restructuring meant. I wouldn't know what that means. Obviously, I knew it was a funding issue in that PIF, but I didn't know anything. So those articles, although back me up, have nothing to do with reporting. I was talking to golf people who said they were in trouble. I wasn't talking to financial people and the reasons behind it. Again, I know it's financial because we all know it's losing a shitload of money all the time. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, PIF is restructuring. They've got allegedly out of Tom Brady's flag football. They've sold one of their 4 soccer teams. Evidently, the others are up for sale. They're just like they've stopped. MBS is the guy who controls all of this and is like stopped. He has like this dream city he's building that stopped. They have this indoor ski resort that stopped. And why that is, obviously the war's involved. And again, that's way above my pay grade. I don't know. I just know all of that stuff makes a lot of sense that they're pulling out of LIV, right? Like they want cash on hand. They have $1 trillion, literally $1 trillion. I've read it a million times, but they're saving cash. And that means that LIV, which is probably the biggest money suck, at least percentage-wise to revenue, it makes sense that they're pulling out. And again, like there's no doubt, at least as of today, they're pulling out. I mean, Scott O'Neill, even though the interview is now edited and deleted, said it. He said like 26 is it, and we got to fight like crazy to make something work. So, yeah, that's it. This is a business that's not really a business, and they got to, if there's any hope of survival, they got to figure out how to make a business. I think, Alan, I've said this since it's like, what I would say differently is LIV as we know it is dead. Like, couldn't they survive and have 4 events that's rolled into the Asian Tour or 4 events that's rolled into the DP World Tour or something? Yes, sure. But Bryson ain't staying at this current, like no private equity's getting involved. They're burning through $100 million a month, according to the Business Journal. Like there's no private equity that's like, I'm jumping in. So if I could restate one word, I think LIV as we know it is dead outside of America. And I've said this many times. One of my sources said, you understand your reporting is at the whim of one man, right? Like MBS can come out tomorrow and be like, yeah, well, I want to do LIV. I like LIV.
Yep.
And they're going to go on for as many years as they want to go on. So that's it. Like MBS holds the keys to all of this.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna sell, I forget the name of that soccer team, Al,
Hameen, yeah,
yeah, whatever it is. Like that was their like that's their golden goose. Like they were so proud
yeah,
to own that team and invest in that team, and if they're gonna sell that, Liv has no chance, right? That's the
no
biggest
chance.
sport in the world. And if that isn't going to survive, then no, Live as with that ownership is not going to last by any means. I do think it's funny because you talked about the financial side of like, yeah, that's not where your sources are, but also like if go through a series of your tweets from any given week, right? If the guy with the spelling mistakes and chirping people on Twitter and just being you isn't diving into financial records of the Saudi Arabia, public investment fund. It's just not who you are.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, again, someone goes, the New York Times wrote that article because of you. And I go, no, no, they didn't.
No.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
No, they were just
Like, none.
they were just not as quick to push send, right? Like they didn't get all
Yeah,
their
I mean, now,
information after your tweet.
yes,
They were probably weeks ahead of you.
100%. Yeah, weeks. And they said, right, now, did I push up timelines of those articles? Or did not my tweet, the explosion of what happened? Yeah, I'm sure. But these people have been working on this for months. Like, this isn't just out of the blue. Now, they were like, oh, we'll post this on May 1. And they're like, oh, shit, it's out. Let's go to it. But, like, yeah, I don't know anything about PIF or outside of what I've learned in the last few days. Yeah, I knew golf people, and golf people knew it was, at least right now, it's a sinking ship.
Which is funny because you did mention like you reached out to agents, you probably reached out to some players. I reached out to a few people I know that are directly involved out on that tour, and basically the same answer was, yeah, we haven't heard anything, and I've been paid, and that's all I know. Right now, there were more rumors, where there's smoke, there's fire, and there was a lot going on after that, leading up to Thursday, where there were rumors of players potentially pulling out. I reached out to a few people, and it sounded like that got pretty close to being real. What did you learn about kind of after the tweet?
Yeah, I mean, here's where I knew I wouldn't have put it out if I didn't think I was right. But obviously, when you put it out, there's a chance you're wrong, I guess. Like, yeah, I mean, there's a chance they're getting bad information or whatever. They're not related to each other, but like there's a chance, right, that it's wrong. Or it's a chance that MBS changed his mind and we would never know. And these conversations were real, and then in 12 hours before it got back to my sources, he changed his name. Like, there's a chance you're wrong. So like, he didn't get much sleep that night, but woke up to zero pushback, right? And there's people on LIV, and I'm not talking pushback like social media. I'm talking people in the know, right? Like, I put out stories all the time, PGA Tour, mini tour, LIV, whatever, and someone will be like, hey, dude, this guy wasn't in that group and he said he was, or, something like that, right? And there's people inside LIV. I say this all the time. It's like, there's a person in LIV, if I said, I can't think of an example, but if I said the winning putt to win Mexico was 22 feet, he would send me a message and go, hey, dude, it was 27 feet. Like, that's how often he pushes back, right? And we're friendly, but like, he pushes back. Not a word.
Is it Luke
right?
Elvey?
Zero. I didn't. Yeah. Like, zero text from people on the staff that have pushed back on stuff I've said. Zero pushback from players, caddies. In fact, it was the opposite. So I woke up to screenshots of, alleged conversations between employees, alleged conversations between players. I woke up to more evidence that I was right and zero that I was wrong. Again, not saying the loud people on Twitter. I'm saying people who are actually that. I'm not saying everyone in the know thought that. That's not fair for me to say. The people that would push back on me, I didn't hear anything from.
Mm-hmm. And to that, like, talking about the pushback, obviously, since all this has happened, I think, everyone or most people probably saw that email from Scott O'Neill to the LIV staff. He's seems to have come out on the offensive. And, I think the strongest words that he used were like, this is false, these are rumors. But at the same time, the story up until last week was LIV is funded through 2032. Like, we're good. This is all this. And now the story is we are funded through the end of 2026. So, he has hinted that the league will continue. But like, what do you think that looks like? Is this now a case of, yes, PIF is pulling the funding, but they are doing everything they can to make sure LIV keeps going? Does it look something different? But I think the point being at this stage, they've all but confirmed what you've said in a roundabout way.
Yeah, I think a couple things, Cole. One, at least I'm not saying he hasn't, I haven't seen every word, but he hasn't said anything was false. He attacked the media for unnamed sources a lot, but he hasn't disputed anything in the media said. That's been huge to me, right? Like, attack the media, attack the unnamed sources. I'll have a story about that in a minute, but he's admitted that 2026, and I want to say a couple things. One, I've been called a PGA Tour shill. I mean, a LIV shill way more often than a PGA Tour shill. I have a friendship relationship with Phil, or did. I haven't talked to him since, but I think I don't care about LIV. I've said that often. Like, it's not my thing. No cut events is not my thing, but their support of the Asian Tour has helped tons of guys that I know, that I support, and I think it's been vital to golf. So I hope that they find a way to roll this into the Asian Tour and have $5 million purses or something. I'm all for it. So that, and then, the point is like, oh, they signed Mexico for next year. What the hell else are they supposed to do? I mean, I've said this before. I came from the restaurant business, right? I've closed restaurants that are out of business. And we get to a month and we're like, this is probably the last month. We didn't go like, hey guys, we're quitting. We're like, let's fight like crazy. I know the reality in 30 days, but I'm going to do everything I can to make it sure in 30 days we can make it another month. And like, what is he supposed to say? Yeah, they signed it another year in Mexico. And in guarantee, if you get that contract, it has stipulations about payments that he can't guarantee, that he's hoping to be able to make pay. Like, yeah, great. You have a contract for next year. And they have a backup plan if it doesn't come. So it's like, I think O'Neill has fumbled this, like the problem greatly. But him saying like, we're going to fight like crazy and we're going to continue to do business as usual, what the hell else is he going to say? That's what he has to do. Like, I mean, I don't criticize him for that. Of course, that's what is he going to say? Yeah, we're done. We're cooked. And then, like, no, he's going to say we're going to fight like crazy and try to figure it out.
He's looking for his next job too, right? Like, and if he just said, yeah, we're 100%. Done, we're cooked. If I'm hiring a leader and that's how they're dealing with things in wartime issues, and that's a bad analogy for what's actually happening in the world right now, but you understand where I'm going with there. That's not someone if they can't handle it at the hardest points, like, things are going to get hard. And he wants another job. He wants another CEO job. He's got to come 100%. Out and put on that brave face. He probably doesn't like it, right? He probably knows his fate, but it's his job.
Yeah, it's a great point.
It's his job.
And then I want to tell a couple stories about unnamed sources, right? Like, I get it. Like, it's very easy to be skeptical, right? I got a lot of messages. So, 4 instances this happened. People who are involved in LIV or, in some way directly involved with LIV, are like, well, why aren't you reporting on this, right? And it's like a list of rumors of the PGA Tour. Let's talk about layoffs. There's layoffs going on at the PGA Tour. I've talked about it. Whatever. And it's significant. It's a separate, but on top of that, they're like, this is happening, and what, you're not reporting on this and that. And I go, okay, here's the 2 ways we can handle this, right? Is like, One, you have to give me information that I can track down to make this actually understand that this is actually happening. Or B, I'll put out a tweet right now that says, John Doe says the PGA Tour has this rumor, this, and this is happening. I said, I'll put that out right now. I'll put it out right now with your name on it. Like, you're mad about unnamed sources. I'll put it out right now. Oh, no, screw you. Yeah, right. That's how we got to the unnamed sources. All right. It's like people will lose their job if their name is, they'll lose their position at LIV. Like, yeah, no, I don't know what to tell you. So I get it. It's easy to unnamed sources sucks, but it, like the other option is, like if you are in the know and you want to put your name on it, that comes with the thing, right? It's like, all I can say is, I don't know anything about journalism. I don't, like, outside of like, I'm only going to put out something that I know as close as I can to be the truth. And that's it. And so does every journalist abide by that? Of course not. But I understand that there's people who don't know me, who don't know my, like, that is the truth. I get it. And so that's it. It's just like, it's unnamed sources is a tough source subject, but it's also like in this world, it's like people aren't going to threaten their jobs to do it. So our choices are to not ever know news and forget golf, just like worldly news. Like, this is the job of a journalist, is to get what they believe is the truth out. So, whoa, that got way too serious. Do you remember when I just had fucking links to the Monday qualifying scores? Do you remember that? It seems so long ago.
That's what I was going to transition to, was like, when I first obviously chatted with you way back in the day, that's what we were talking about, right? It's just a passion project. And then when we were chatting the other night, I'm not going to name these names, but you told me a couple of the people you were talking to, and I was just kind of laughing to myself to be like, that person's texting the same phone number that I am while I'm laying in my bed after drinking a whiskey because I'm celebrating.
That's crazy.
And it was like, I think I texted you. I was like, I'm proud of you, right? Like, I'm just proud of how far you've come. And I'm sure the next day you're like, I don't even want to be me right now, which is
100%.
super 100%.
Funny. There's been 3 days. I was just like, I got to get out of here.
When you're talking about payments, the other story that really came out kind of after that, I want to know if you dove further into this, because you obviously chatting with different players. There was basically stories that came out that certain players hadn't been paid from the week before, and vendors. Did you dive into anything further on that to find any more information?
Yeah. I mean, it's been pretty well known that PIF has been really poor about paying vendors in general. And so, yeah, I talked to multiple. Golf Channel talked to multiple. It seems to be going longer as of late, even longer. And yeah, I mean, I think The Athletic said the 20, again, I said Mexico was in trouble by all reporting that has come out since then. It seems like it was, at least. The Athletic said it hung in the balance. There was rumblings that PIF was just done, and they were just, that was it, right? And so, Golf Channel reported that people were threatening to not show up. The quarter one bonus was late a day. So yeah, there's like issue in the silence of some of the loudest LIV folks. That includes people that work for LIV, have been kind of like a little lower key on Twitter. And I think that is a sign that inside the ropes there's a lot of people that are scared. That part sucks, right? Like, I don't agree with a lot of people that work for LIV. Don't care about the golfers. They'll be fine. All of them are multi, obviously the top players, 10-fold, 100-fold of that, millionaires. But there's people that work for LIV that don't make shit. That's not a shot at LIV. They just do social media or whatever. And they went to LIV to find a job, not to like be some like advocate of media rights, So yeah, that part sucks. I hope they all get paid. I think this is a day-to-day. A screenshot of a text between employees says things aren't day by day, they're hour by hour. And I think
Wow.
that is probably still true. It seems like now, right? Like it could be like, yeah, we're totally fine. But again, what is he going to say? We're not totally fine.
Mhm.
And I mean, the technique, again, it's like, you don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but it's like the TV went out for 3 hours and they say it was a power outage. I know the power was on. The Athletic said DJ was going, whatever. I don't know enough about TV to not know that the TV compound power and the regular power is something. They said it was an outage in Mexico City. I didn't see an outage in Mexico City, but I don't know where to look. I don't know if that's a thing that's on the internet. So,
Yeah, you
Bryson's
were
wrist
breaking down
injury.
financial terms. Yeah,
Yeah,
can't even
exactly.
look up power outages in
Yeah.
your own fucking city.
Yeah, I don't know. So like, is this a thing? Is this a thing? And then Bryson's wrist injury. Again, I give Bryson the benefit of the doubt, but the timing sucks. The timing
Mhm.
sucks if you're LIV. You're just like,
Yeah.
can you just gut it out for another 18 holes here? Brother, you're killing me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I saw a clip. I think it was from your own podcast, Ryan, and you spoke. I think what you said for this is that this is a course correction, and I think what you were saying with that is not a course correction for LIV, but a course correction for professional golf as a whole.
Yeah.
And so, it's, as you've already mentioned, it's well documented, PIF is losing, supposedly $100 million a month. They've poured in over $5 billion so far into LIV. But what did you mean by that course correction statement?
Yeah. I mean, it's known that there's a large layoff going on the PGA Tour right now, this week, last week. I've heard 175 to 500. There's probably 300
Wow.
people. Now, the PGA Tour had way too many employees. Obviously, it's not those people's fault. This is unsubstantiated. Nothing I've heard from anyone but like rumblings of purses going down, right? And that's coming if LIV dies, because the only reason purses are up is because of LIV.
Mm-hmm.
The fact of the matter is, golf is a very niche sport, right? Like it's easy to remember the Masters and 19 people watch that, and the U.S. Open, like the Valspar Championship, just isn't watched by many people. Like I love it, but no one watches it, right? Like we're talking a very niche sport, and right, understandably, the PGA Tour raised their purses substantially, and TGL and PIP and all the things that they did to pay top players. That was to keep them, and it was unsustainable. It's still unsustainable. Michael Kim said, he thinks it's sustainable. Obviously, he's a player, but I've heard from a lot of people it's unsustainable. Not on the level of unsustainability that LIV was on,
Mm-hmm.
but like this didn't work business wise to have these big purses and pay all these things. Like it just didn't work. And I think you're seeing the course correction of what golf is. The golfers have been overpaid for 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
drastically overpaid. I don't know the salaries of TGL players, but they're getting paid there. They're getting $20 million purses, 10 events. And I talked to an agent. It's like, dude, I can't find a sponsor for a person's collar outside of the top 20 players in the world. Like that's how it used to be. Like the guy who finished 125th was like, yeah, I got Bob's Plumbing on my thing and they pay me, 12 grand. Right. And like, he's like, dude, there's a guy who's winning in Europe that thinks he should have, Lee Westwood. Remember when Lee used to have like on his collar and on his thing
Jim
and on his
Furyk.
thing, like, yeah, it's just not the reality anymore.
No.
And so that's because people have finally learned, like, dude, the logo on the shirt is just not selling anything. And so,
Mm-hmm.
all of that to say, I think, yeah, we're in rightfully so. I hope the players enjoyed it for 4 years, a course correction. And I said it before, is like, a player told me, is like, players in, after your report, players in Harbortown had a pep in their step. Like, they shouldn't. Because it's bad news for them. I don't know why. Why are they having pep in their step? Like, the competitor's going away, and that is bad news for the players in Harbortown. Not good news.
It's terrible news.
Well, and like when you
not even from the financial side.
I was just going to say quickly, Step.
Right,
sorry,
but also
we've got
from
a delay here.
Oh, sorry, Cole. It's terrible news because not only from the financial side of things, but also from, well, there's probably 5 or 6, 7 guys out on that tour that PGA Tour goes, we'll find a way. We'll find a way for those guys to make it in.
Right.
And if I'm this guy's probably not in trouble, but like if I'm a Michael Brennan from 7 months ago, that's like that's a spot I'm losing potentially, or that's another guy I got to fight with for a card. So it's the
100%.
last thing I would want is a pep in my step.
Yeah. I was like, dude, they should probably have the opposite. They should probably like, oh shit, this is not good. I mean, Rolap said it. Rolap said it in his interview with McAfee, right? He's like, competition is good, right?
Yep.
Like, it forced us to change who we were. And he's right, obviously. PGA Tour was what a monopoly is. They did what the hell they wanted to do until LIV came in. So it's like, Rolap said it and he's right. Is like, I mean, competition is good. It's surely good for the players. And so, I think we're going to, whatever golf ends up like, it's going to be course corrected. It might be 70 player fields, playing for 15 million, and that's it. And then the Corn Ferry and the rest of the tour roll into one. Again, you could have 7 podcasts on what the PGA Tour is going to look like if this all goes down. I don't think anyone knows. So, the golf is a very niche sport, and I think it's, especially all of us who are on golf Twitter and live in this golf world, it's easy. And I'm not saying me too. It's easy to forget like that. Just a million people watch a regular thing. It's a drop in the bucket. Like, it just isn't. It just isn't. Like, millions watch a regular NBA season game, or 20 million watch a regular NFL game. Like, 1 million people watch the Valspar Championship, and sometimes not even. Like, on a Thursday, it's like 500,000 people. Like, that's crazy. That's no one. This is no one. So, that's it. The money will dry up.
Well, it's funny. Like, I on changing gears, I on YouTube I watch 2 things. I watch golf on YouTube, and I watch motorsport. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because all the the rise of YouTube, Bryson, everything like that. Everyone's like, man, he's getting like 1.5 million views after he posts a video. Like, it's insane. I saw a video yesterday of Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris, 2 Formula One drivers, just racing each other in a go-kart. And I had 15 million views in 2 days. Like, it's, it's, you're exactly right.
Yeah. It's just like, we think of, and he is influential, a huge influence in this golf world, but take that outside of the golf world. Like, he's like, I would wonder where his subscribers on YouTube rank as like an overall sports. It's well down of people who are in the sports game. So, that's it. It's a course correction, and it was needed. That being said, this is like, I have someone said, a million people said like, you just hate LIV. It's like, dude, I've fought with the PGA Tour way more than I fought with LIV. And so this is not, I hope with new leadership, Rolap has seemed to do a lot of things right and be open. Like, him even saying, like, we can all never picture Jay saying that LIV was good for golf, right? Never. Like, and that the PGA Tour needs to change. So I hope that if LIV goes away, that the PGA Tour doesn't go back to being a monopoly. Obviously, they will be. I mean, in how they handle the players and what's going forward.
Well, I know you've had a super busy week. I don't want to keep you any longer, but I'll ask one last question. Based on conversations since. If you were forced to make a prediction of kind of what the next 6 months is going to look like, what would based on everything you know, what would that look like in your eyes?
I think, yeah. I mean, I'll use Alan's words. I think golf as we know, live as we know it, is gone. I think there's a very reasonable way to see this. Um, like again, have the Australia and the South African, whatever the 4 events are that they say are profitable, like roll into the Asian tour. Scott O'Neill said something about making it national opens. Do they make the national opens like Live 2.0 and it's full fields and it's $5 million purses or something, and they get the boards of tourism of each of those countries to pitch in? And yeah, I think that's a possibility. They're being sued by the Premier Golf League, who said they stole the idea from him. Like, is there a way that like that settlement becomes like, let's just rebrand it? It's the Premium Golf League, and it goes back to what it was originally. Like, Premium Golf League was like going to be the fall of the DP World Tour and be the like, again. I think there's a million ways to go. And I think Live as we know it. Again, I want to put the biggest asterisk. Taylor Gooch, new branding, so I'll use an asterisk. Is the biggest asterisk is MBS can change his mind tomorrow and Live just goes on as it is, and that's it. Like, he thinks Bryson is the GOAT, and he's like, okay, Bryson's going to sign for $200 million, and we're going to give him 20% of Live instead of 500 million, and we can make this work. And Live can be the same as it is for the next 10 years. Like, they have the money to do that. Do I think that's going to happen? No. But it could. It definitely could.
Yeah, for sure. What I was just going to say quickly, you mentioned Roll-Up has, he said, like, and you've admit competition is good. Live overall, if you're a professional golf player, Live has been good for the money in your back pocket. This might be a silly question, but Live has, you talk about Twitter, right? Like, Live has divided us as fans. Why do you think Live has been so divisive in that sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if yeah, I don't know. Like, it was like, so where the money came from, and I'm not sure that. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it was the upfront money, the vitriol, the I shouldn't use that word. I just stole that word. Like, that's not a Monday Q word. The like anger and like people like yelling back and forth. Like, I think like we had this conversation, a group of us, of like, what would Live look like if everybody just went over there and was like, hey, like the Harold Varner, right? Do you remember the Harold Varner letter?
Yep.
He's like, the PGA Tour was wonderful to me. The reason I'm getting this, but I can't turn down what will change generations of my family, right?
Mhm.
I'm just not going to do that. I wonder if everybody did that. And then social media wise, like, I don't know where these Live people come from, right? I don't know if they're paid for. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But like,
Yep.
I wonder if they were just like reasonable, like, and there's reasonable Live fans. I'm not saying all of them, but like on social media, like, I wonder, especially at the beginning, they were truly horrible, like really,
Yeah.
really bad, right?
Really
It's like,
bad.
I wonder where it would have stood if the players and the social media around it were just like, hey, we're just another league, dude. Like, you can like the PGA Tour. We decided to do it a different way, and we're going to try to do it the best we can. I wonder what it would look like, because
Mhm.
it was easy to go like, that's Saudi money or that's blood money or whatever, because a lot of them were being assholes about leaving, right? And it's like, I wonder what it would look like if you could go back in time and just everybody, like Poulter's like still, I mean, Westwood and Poulter are going crazy on Twitter today.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude,
They are.
chill out, man. Like the report's out there. Like, just don't be an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
just be like, yeah, okay. Like, we're going to figure it out. We'll show you. Nope. It's like, oh, it's Monday morning. More bullshit. Like, no, it's not bullshit, dude. It's not. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, the money thing was weird because it's like, and I wonder if that was, like you say, people were maybe, I don't know, for want of a better word, hurt that the way this went down.
Yeah.
You know, their players left and they kind of gave the proverbial middle finger to the PGA Tour, and people were looking for an excuse. But the money argument, I mean, PIF money's everywhere, right? It's not like PIF just invests in LIV. Like if you're using Uber, if you're using LinkedIn, if you like, PIF money is literally everywhere. So I wonder if that was like an avenue for them to kind of like take out this frustration. But like you see it, and I think we all sort of now have this obvious thing in our head that's like, oh, your PGA Tour or LIV. But I was like, what? Why? Yeah, I was just curious. Like, wonder how we ended up like that.
It is funny to me too. We talked about them paying for Twitter bots, yet they still never bought at LIV Golf, and it's just some 16-year-old girl that's in England just playing golf. That is, it's like it's been comical from the beginning. The ending here seems comical. The whole process, remember the flash mob at the first event that they did?
Oh
like,
my
people
God!
forget about the flash mob. They had, like it's just been comical the entire time. Even at we even just to bring it back before we wrap, like, oh no, we're fine. Then the TV goes down. Like it's just comedy after comedy from trillions of dollars worth of money in the bank account that they can't figure out small details like this. It's so funny to me.
The Scott O'Neill interview, right? He says the last couple of days, like he says funding's ending, and then they like make it not available in the U.S., right? And then like again in social media, people just forget, right? Like they're just like, okay, and the clip floated around. It was out there for sure, but they made it 1,000 times worse by reposting the interview without the clip that was already been clipped and played 1 billion times. Like by the afternoon, everybody is like, okay, like we're over the fact that he said the funding. Not that wouldn't have carried on, but then they were like, well, here you go. Here's the interview with Scott O'Neill, and it's clearly the biggest bombshell in the interview is clipped from it as if it didn't happen. And no one went like, we shouldn't repost it. Let's just, okay, we made it unavailable in the US or we deleted it. Let's just let it be. Nope. Off we go. Like someone was like, no, this is the right move. Like no one in the room raised their hand, was like, wait a minute. This is not the right move, everybody. This isn't it.
It's so funny.
I feel like that's PR 101. It's like if you have something that it's like, oh, we do not want attention being brought to that thing, just leave it. Just leave it. People will forget about it.
Yeah. Like we said a big thing and then we deleted it, and that's going to be some rumbles from that. But here's what we don't do. Let's repost it and then pretend that in that interview he didn't say that. Like,
it's too funny.
No Laying Up said, "What chess move is this?" Like reposting.
I did see that. That was hilarious.
All right, brother. I think we'll probably get you out there out of here. We really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll have you back on.
Of course, guys.
All this wraps up, whenever it does, or you blow up Twitter again. But as I said, I'm proud of you. I know it's been a stressful week, and I'm sure you learned a lot, but also I'm sure you learned a lot more information as the week's gone on. So looking for, I never turn off my notifications of when you tweet. I've always had them on. I'll never turn them off because I caught that
you guys
1 minute after it posted, and that was hilarious. So thanks for coming on, man.
I remember the first couple minutes there was like 6 retweets, and I was like, this is not gonna be it. I was like, it wasn't a slow build. It was like, oh fuck. Yeah.
It happened. Yeah.
It happened.
Well, not
a lot of sleep. The last couple nights, I'm like, okay, finally it's like calm down. But yeah, we're good. Thanks, guys. Thank you. You guys have been great. Appreciate you.
No, thank you. Plus one to what Stefan said, man. You've, we're a couple of guys from Kingston, Ontario, and for you to come on, and we're just doing this to try and put out some.
I'm from
fun
Alpena,
content,
Michigan, so I'm just a dude.
So we appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a legend, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you, man. Bye. Man, that was also, by the way, we're in a first time doing this kind of remotely, so we got some like audio delays or something, which I'm sure was horrible to listen to. But man, that was pretty wild. Thanks again, Ryan. On. I mean, like you put in the hard yards there. But first thoughts, first reactions.
I mean, I think at the end, I kind of summed up my reactions. It continues to be a comedy show of errors. And
Yeah.
I said, I if people even ask me in person, I won't tell them, but there was a couple names that he told me of who he was talking to. And I was laughing to myself, being like, okay, well, if that name, like when I mean big names, I mean names very, very close to LIV that everyone would know who we're talking about. And I was like, if that's who he's talking to, then this is real. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I joked with him, like, did your tweet save LIV? Like, are they gonna fight back? They'd be like, no, like we're not gonna let this guy cancel our tour. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see him kind of keep going in. And I know he says he's not a journalist, but my initial reaction is like, there's gonna be more of this now. I think he realized over time the way his business has changed that he's writing big stories. He gets a lot of information, and there's gonna be bigger stories to come from Ryan. So it was really cool. What about you?
Yeah. No, I thought it was I kind of wanted to sit back today and I mean, I guess when we have guests, I try and always do this, but just listen, right? Like, there's a lot of things, and that's like when I asked, like, why do you think there's like this LIV and PGA Tour in terms of the fans, right? This LIV and PGA Tour headbutt. I was just really curious to get inside the mind of someone who is, a lot closer to this kind of stuff. But yeah, to your point, it's funny because would you call him a journalist? Like in the traditional sense, no, probably not. He already admitted, right? He was like, this is not, him and Mark had that long conversation. This is not really what Monday Q is. It's not how Monday Q started. And so they had that debate about releasing the news. But obviously I think it was an important piece of news, and he happened to be the one carrying that news. But in a sense, it is a type of journalism. Like, you look at all the traditional stuff that he does, highlighting the stories of people at Monday Qs, he comes out with stats all the time. It's like, oh, see this guy playing on the PGA Tour this week? If X, Y, Z, and ABC didn't happen in that specific order, that guy wouldn't be back here this week. And you're like, well, like, highlighting it's just a different kind of story, and he's an exceptional storyteller.
Oh, it's awesome. He is, and he does it in his own way of, it's not when he writes and it's edited, it makes a lot of sense, but there's ebbs and flows and he gets lost at times. And that's, I think, what makes him compelling is it's just like, if your buddy one day blew up on Twitter and now had to make a career out of it. So it's cool to watch him innovate.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. And yeah, I think I asked him about his predictions for the future. I would say my prediction is I feel like you're going to see some sort of announcement within, I would say, the next 3-4 months. There's going to be a couple names that probably are going to be moving back to the tour. If I'm Bryson now, I'm not signing a contract. I don't want to get into I signed up with who I signed up with, but now that it's so unknown, right? Like, I'm not signing a $500
The game's
million
changed, right?
Yeah, it's completely changed. So so unless it's all up front, I ain't signing shit at this point if I'm Bryson. And but I think people learned a lot about Bryson this week. Everything I've always said, that everything I've heard from people very close to it, it's all bullshit. No one believes it. You see people fighting back on Twitter and Instagram. Once the PR team can't edit the videos, then
Yeah.
this is who he is, right? When he has no final say in the edit, you're gonna see who the real personality behind it is, and whether that's good or bad for golf, I guess we're gonna find out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we got a weird week of golf ahead with picks are made for the Zurich, and I probably won't see any. I think this a little bit my break time in golf. I'll probably watch a little bit
Yeah.
of Sunday of the Zurich, but the next couple weeks and then PGA Championship is not far away. What, 3-4 weeks away?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, here in Ontario, we're playing golf now. So I'm actually playing golf on Sunday, and I will, no disrespect to the Zurich, but I will prefer to be playing my own golf on Sunday, and I'll probably have the phone out and see what's happening. But yeah, I mean, just like on LIV, it's hard to see, in terms of the future for LIV. Obviously, there is a level of brand equity there. There is a brand in LIV Golf, and as Ryan mentioned, it's not sustainable. So, I think this is kind of what he said, right? You'll probably see LIV Golf continue, but compared to what it is today, it will be nothing like that. So, and I thought he also made, and I think this is also what Ryan does really, really well is, he's very, I'd call him very objective, when he talks about the guys on the Asian Tour and what LIV has done for a lot of those guys struggling up and coming, it's been great for them, right? So, yeah, we'll as you say, only time will tell. But
break it down next week. We'll see what new news is coming out next week.
Yeah. This is just going to turn into a LIV news cycle. But we'll be back next week for episode 21. We hit the double. I keep on saying the double ton. It's not the double ton. Whatever you want to call it. Episode 20 done and dusted, and really hope you, all you folks, enjoyed this one at home. Another excellent conversation with Ryan French, and as always, I said it and I meant it. We're a couple of guys from Ontario, Canada, and who was Ryan is on is CNN and New York Times and Golf Channel and everyone, and he makes the time to come and chat with us. So shout out Ryan, and yeah, we'll break everything down again next week, episode 21. We'll see you then.
Cheers.
Cheers.